Hi, this is Barry Schwartz, and I'm off to my first vlog. I'll be going to see Ryan Clutter from Horizon Media, and then I'm going to be seeing Lily Ray from Path Interactive. It's pretty bad weather outside. I don't know if you could see it. It's pretty rainy, so I'm not sure if I'll be vlogging much outside today, but we'll give this a try and see what happens. So, looking forward to it, and hopefully you guys will like it. Right by the Holland Tunnel on the way to see Ryan. So this is our first vlog. I have with me Ryan Clutter from Horizon Media, and we're gonna. Good. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to do this.
Yeah, this is gonna be a great experiment. We're in their amazing office. You saw some video of it through this whole loop. There's an amazing view. So let me actually just take you through this conference room here, and we'll go through a little bit of view over here. You might be able to see it, but there's an amazing view of the Freedom Towers, which is about over there. If you can see it, it's a bit foggy today. The rain and fog, it's going to clear up a little bit later today, so maybe when I take you outside you'll see it. But really honored to be talking to Ryan here. We have Ryan with us, and I'm really excited to ask him some questions. So Ryan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in the SEO space for about 6 years. I started at a smaller agency down outside Philadelphia, working on a lot of small business type of websites, the local businesses, and upping the local SEO for them. Then I moved here at Horizon, doing SEO, solely SEO for Horizon clients about 2.5 years ago, working on a lot of larger enterprise brands, helping with both local, e-com, retail, whatever the vertical is for the client, helping them enhance their SEO presence.
So I was walking through the office before. It seems like there's a lot of people in this building alone. So you told me you have about a few floors.
Yeah, so this office space here is about 6 floors that Horizon occupies, about 1,300 people here, and then there's another 400 in LA, and we just opened a Toronto office as well.
Okay, and you is pretty much fully a marketing agency with probably thousands and thousands of clients, and you focus on a handful of, or a dozen or so, SEO specific clients around local, e-commerce, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Any brands you can mention that you work with?
I can't mention any brands right now.
All right, great. So let's talk a little bit about what you specifically do with this company. So you come in today, you're looking at local search, you're looking at enterprise search. So what are some of the things you look at when you walk in, to the office on a day-to-day basis?
So my day-to-day consists of all the analytics tools, going into Search Console, looking at crawling the site through Screaming Frog, looking at different types of tools to analyze trends. There's certain clients that I have that see kind of dips every Sunday and Monday. So understanding that you're not going to look at day-to-day, day-over-day traffic, you want to look at year-over-year, month-over-month to see type of trends and growth patterns or losses, and seeing different patterns that can kind of formulate a new strategy or new tactic.
Right. I'm talking about ups and downs. So recently we had a bunch of Google updates. Google back in June launched their core Google June Core 2019 core update. And there's been a lot of chatter around it. Google has always said you can't fix stuff and so forth. So what do you think these Google core updates are about based on your experience over the past close to a dozen years or so in the SEO field?
I think for the most part, these core algorithm updates nowadays, it's really focusing on Google trying to present the best quality, the best result for the query. And that means just updating the results. Not every result, not every vertical is going to be impacted with these core updates, but if there's content that's not up to par, if there's back-end issues in terms of site quality like page speed and mobile issues, that could affect some of these core updates. I know we typically see with these core updates certain verticals like the your money or your life type of websites.
Right.
But I don't think the core update is solely focused on those. It's more of just an overall update to how Google can better the search results.
Right. And it was interesting because I think I personally came up with the name Medic Update back before Google started confirming these core updates. And you saw there was definitely a large shift towards sites being hit by, I guess Medic Update now is confirmed as a core update. And the sites were hit mostly, I guess the sites that got hit big time by these were these your money, your life sites.
Right.
Of course, that include health insurance, banking, all this types of stuff. Legal, anything around, even like fitness websites, anything around health.
Right.
But obviously, there was a huge number of sites that were not in that field. So you remember probably the Panda and Penguin updates. There's been a lot of talk about, Google said the Panda update is now part of the core update. This was years and years ago, and Danny Sullivan then said, hey, Panda and core are completely different. There's a lot of content around, how do you recover from the Panda update? And Google saying, yeah, you could look at that kind of content. Do you think they're somewhat similar? Do you think SEOs are just looking too much in the weeds? What's your thoughts on that?
I think they are similar in a sense, whereas Panda just focused on thin content, Penguin just focused on spammy links. But the overall core updates, as Google got smarter, as their machine learning algorithm got better, they're able to kind of encompass everything into one.
Right.
So now Google tells you don't have to fix anything if you're impacted by these core updates. But they do tell you, hey, focus on your content. Look at the user experience. So it's kind of everything into one realm where Panda, Penguin, and everything from the technical standpoint are all combined into one core update. So if you are focused on reducing thin content, making sure there's no duplicate content, even the link profile, even though Martin Split and even John Mueller say that links, while they're still important, don't really focus on them too much.
Right.
I do think that everything is combined into the one core algorithm update.
Interesting. In terms of, you mentioned Martin Split and John Mueller saying things, do you think that Google has been more transparent recently? Do you think that transparency's, the lack or increase in transparency is helping them? What are your thoughts around Google's transparency itself?
I like it. I think they're trying to be more proactive, more engaging to the SEO community, whereas they weren't so much in the past. Now, with the pre-announcement of this core update, you log on to Twitter, you see Google Webmaster Tools has announced this update happening the next day, and that's really a new thing because they've never really done that. So now, as an SEO, you can go in and expect to see the updates. You know to monitor for impacts and changes. So I think they're trying to be more transparent. I like the transparency, and hopefully it kind of takes off a little bit more in the future.
And Google constantly says we're constantly rolling out updates. And with this Google Core update, the last one that just happened, Google also said, oh, by the way, we also pushed out a diversity update, which basically went ahead and said, all right, only 2 listings from the same result most of the time could show up. And talking about their transparency, like, all right, these 2 updates technically literally overlapped with each other.
Yeah.
And they're being more transparent about it, but do you think they should hold off on certain updates and kind of isolate things? As an SEO, do you find it hard to kind of navigate when Google's doing multiple updates at once?
Good question. I understand the core updates and everything happening with little tweaks here and there on a daily basis, but those 2 overlapping, like you said, it did cause a little bit of confusion. I know for most of my sites that I work on, don't really see any gains or losses too much with these core updates. And then one day, I think like June 6th or June 7th, right around that diversity update happened, I started looking at impressions on Search Console, keyword rankings and top positions, and things were dropping. So I was curious as to why, knowing that the core updates usually don't have an impact on the sites that I work on. And then I saw this diversity update with only 2 max, usually, depending on the search query, 2 max results from the same domain. So what I've been doing for one of my clients, a windshield repair company, I've been helping them gain real estate in the search results and driving, with creation of different landing pages and targeting different queries to address competitor gaps, helping them sustain 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces in the top 10. Now with the Max 2, we might see some hits, but with those 1 and 2 at the top, I don't know if there would be an impact in clicks, but certainly an impact in impressions.
Interesting. Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time today. Is there anything
Yeah.
else you want to tell the audience in terms of what you think the next big thing is, or what you're up to here, or anything cool or unique that you want to share? Put it on the spot.
I think going forward, there's going to be a lot more with voice. I know we're not there yet, and I know when it comes to e-commerce on voice, and even utilizing your home or Alexa for search queries in general isn't quite where we expected it to be at this point. But I am doing a lot of work with voice and addressing content created for voice search. So if more brands do this, and you kind of focus on the question and answer type of format and addressing user pain points that they might be asking their devices, that's where the next big opportunity is. Because while these assistants keep becoming more popular in your home, we're still just asking what's the weather, what's the latest news. But I think within the next year or two, we're going to start seeing brands being impacted by these voice searches. And if you're creating content now and getting ready for the future, that's the next big area that I think.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Barry.
I'm right outside Lily Ray's office, the Path Interactive. You can see it right behind me. It's the big building up here. So I'll be going up there in a minute and saying hello to her and talking to her about what she does for her company